Hi and welcome. You're watching a WindWorks subscriber update video by mysterytomastery.com, and the title of today's video is Learn how making errors is the smartest and fastest way to create better playing habits. Check this out. Many people struggle today to improve on the trumpet, and this is because they misunderstand how the instrument works and don't know what or how to practice effectively. Most methods just offer more and more exercises, and this is where they fall short. They fail to uncover the real problems. Luckily, there's a way to get far better results, and it's much faster than I actually ever thought possible. The amazing WindWorks course helped me to improve much faster than other methods by revealing the flaws in my belief systems and my approach to brass playing. With just a few drills and exercises a day, I felt my mind and body change like never before, and my playing was freer and easier than I could ever imagine. It works by eliminating inefficient playing habits and providing a structured and achievable program suitable for players of all standards. Simply go to mysterytomastery.com. That's mysterytomastery.com and sign up for the WindWorks course now. It takes less than a minute, it's free to sign up now, and it'll change your life forever. Click the link in the description below to get started. I would like to share with you something actually mind-blowing. It's extraordinary. Did a video called Coping with the Good Days, which was in response to a WindWorks forum thread about good days, bad days. In response, now I need you to understand what I'm about to show you. I got sent by a wonderful friend of mine, Sean Royce, magnificent trombone player and educator from California. He goes, Greg, you must watch this video. It's a podcast by Andrew Huberman, who is a neurologist from Stanford University. His podcast is very, very popular. Let me just say, I watched this video, jaw dropped. I'm still stunned. I've put my video, a few snippets for you, and I've put his video, a few snippets for you. Put them together. Keep in mind, I'd never seen his podcast before. It is wild. It's a really tough, but not tough, interesting journey. It's the learning process, and people don't get the learning process quite often. We're creating new pathways. The quickest way to do it is understanding exactly what you're working on with no expectation, but an understanding of what we're doing. Creating a new circuit board, the 2.0 circuit board, rather than the existing wiring that needs to change.
There's a key element to accessing neuroplasticity that, frankly, I don't see out there in the general discussion about neuroplasticity.
And in order to fix a broken circuit board, you hire an electrician, and he comes along and says, right, what's the problem? And you say, I'm not telling. How can I fix it? You can't. Or you go, hi, Mr. Electrician. He goes, what's the problem? I said, well, here's the problem. Here's the fuse box. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I can see the wiring's not quite right. I can fix that. We've got to understand what's not working in order to fix it.
We have circuits in our brainstem, so this would be kind of around your neck, deep in the brain, that are called central pattern generators. These are sometimes called CPGs. The upper motor neurons actually reside in our motor cortex, way up on top of the brain. And they are involved in sending signals for deliberate action. If you want to change motor patterns, you have to know where in the circuitry changes are possible, and you ought to know where the changes are most likely to occur.
The exercises that you're playing are the assessment. You don't learn during the test. You don't learn during the exam. You don't learn during the assessment. It's an indication of what you've learned. So you attempt to play the four factories, descending harmonics, and all of a sudden you go, oh, that's not it, right? That's not a failure. That's how you learn, right? It's a figuring out what's going wrong. Where's it going wrong? What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? And you go, righto. So you recognize in your mind, after you've played, what wasn't right about it.
The way to create plasticity is to create mismatches or errors in how we perform things. And this, I think, is an amazing and important feature of neuroplasticity that is highly underappreciated. The way to create plasticity is to send signals to the brain that something is wrong, something is different, and something isn't being achieved.
felt like this. It wasn't, again, I know I keep doing it, but one day people will get it across the planet. It's going to take a long time. This is passive. This, first thing of the day. It's all passive. I know it goes against the norm. So, you've done the 4 factories. You recognize, oh, I'm tightening there. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. That's awesome.
Because I'm about to tell you that making errors over and over and over again is the route to shaping your nervous system so that it performs better and better and better.
The brain recognizes it. That's when you're learning. You go, that's not actually what I want. What do I want? Well, what has Greg been saying? It's that whole thing and the ooh, well, I know that's a pedal tone. Ooh, versus, there's your low C, right? No kick.
Errors and making errors out of sync with what we would like to do is how our nervous system is cued through very distinct biological mechanisms that something isn't going right, and therefore certain neurochemicals are deployed that signal the neural circuits that they have to change.
So that's the learning process there. We're not training muscles. We're training the brain to send signals to the muscles.
Point of fact, actually, we don't have muscle memory. There's no such thing as muscle memory. Muscles are dumb. They don't know anything. They don't have a history. They don't have a memory. They don't know anything. It is the neurons that control those muscles and their firing patterns in which all the information for motor patterns are stored. So your ability to walk is not muscle memory. It's neural memory.
Right? Then we have another attempt. I wonder how it'll go. So in the assessment, in the exercise, no, that's not it.
The signal that generates the plasticity is the making of errors. It's the reaches and failures that signal to the nervous system that this is not working, and therefore the shifts start to take place.
Or, there it was. Store it. Does that mean it's wired forever? Not on your life. Not on your life. All the elements synchronized. They turned up to the party at this point in time. But if you expect it to happen the next day, you're kidding yourself. Unfortunately, the way the brain works is repetition is required. Because what will happen, you go, what's 1 + 1? 3. No, it's 2. Oh, yeah, of course it's 2. Got it? Yep. Good, let's go. What's 1 + 1? 3. No, it's 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. What's 1 + 1? 2. Fantastic. Got it? Yep. Hey, what's 1 + 1? 3. No. No, that's not it. It's 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. Got it. It's 2. What's 1 + 1? 2. Ah, you got it. What's 1 + 1? 2. Ah, you got it. What's 1 + 1? 2. Ah, cool. You go back the next day. What's 1 + 1? 3.
The brain changes when certain neurochemicals, namely acetylcholine, epinephrine, and dopamine, are released in ways and in the specific times that allow for neural circuits to be marked for change, and then the change occurs later during sleep.
I haven't put much golf footage and the whole process out yet. It's coming. But I couldn't break 100 for ages. Then, I started hitting 150. And if you don't play golf, 150 shots for 18 holes of golf is a lot. And losing 20 or 30 balls in the trees. It's left-handed. It's crazy.
Can behavior change the brain? And the answer is yes, provided that behavior is different enough in specific ways from the behaviors that you already know how to perform.
Par is 72, so I'm over double the amount of shots that the pros hit. That's cool. I slice a ball, I'll stand there and I lost 7 balls in a row into a lake. I don't care. No expectation. It's learning process.
And so errors are the basis for neuroplasticity and for learning. And I wish that this was more prominent out there. I guess this is why I'm saying it. And humans do not like this feeling of frustration and making errors. The few that do exceedingly well in whatever pursuits they happen to be involved in. The ones that don't generally don't do well.
People get upset. And to divert for a second, when I'm on the golf course, when I hit a bad shot, I learn because that's got on a platter what I need to work on. And other guys are getting shitty, duffing a ball. They're not pros. They're getting really, really upset because they mishit a ball. That's madness. That's where you learn. I say to them, this quote, I don't care about pars and birdies, like the good holes. I don't learn anything from that. That's proof that the process is working. I learn from the 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, when it all falls apart. That's where you learn.
People understandably get frustrated, like they're trying to learn a piece on the piano and they don't know how, they can't do it, or they're trying to write a piece of code, or they're trying to access some sort of motor behavior and they can't do it. And the frustration drives them crazy and like, I can't do it. When they don't realize that the errors themselves are signaling to the brain and nervous system, something's not working. And of course, the brain doesn't understand the words, something isn't working. The brain doesn't even understand frustration as an emotional state. The brain understands the neurochemicals that are released, namely epinephrine and acetylcholine, but also, and we'll get into this, the molecule dopamine when we start to approximate the correct behavior just a little bit.
And I don't care whether I have a bad day. And you could say, well, Greg, yeah, but it's just a hobby. And I'm a professional player. Well, I don't care. I did this as a professional player. I sat down with, here it is, between my teeth, to keep my teeth open, to learn the feeling of it. I'd pick up trombone. That's what I want to be able to do. It took me ages and ages and ages and ages to have that moment where I let go and went, and the note spoke. Coffee moment number 1.
For instance, the signals that would allow you to make a cup of coffee in the morning.
You can't force it to happen. It's based on understanding. It was based on this must work, because no trumpet methods helped me, because you're playing all the methods the same way. So that's when you start researching physics and acoustics and that stuff. And you're doing something that feels so ridiculous, yet you know intellectually that it's right.
So let me just pause and just say this. If you are uncomfortable making errors and you get frustrated easily, if you leverage that frustration toward drilling deeper into the endeavor, you are setting yourself up for a terrific set of plasticity mechanisms to engage.
We're building a new superhighway. So the superhighway is, I don't care what comes out. New posture, new head position. I don't care where the ball goes. I do not care. It cannot enter the mind. I have belief that I can hit a beautiful ball. I don't have confidence that I'm going to at this particular shot right now. I have belief it's possible. I don't have confidence that it's going to happen. But I don't mind, because I'm just going to observe the outcome, because this moment is my assessment. How did I go? That was great. Store it. What did it feel like? What did it look like? What did it sound like? Then can we replicate it? That's where the repetition thing comes in.
And this is absolutely important to understand, which is that how badly we need or want the plasticity determines how fast that plasticity will arrive, which is incredible, because the brain is just neurons and soup of chemicals. But this means that the importance of something, how important something is to us, actually gates the rate of plasticity and the magnitude of plasticity.